Hi, everyone. Welcome to everybody on Zoom and everybody in the Unify community out there. It's beautiful to imagine all of you around the world joining for this beginning of a new exploration of what the power of sound is. And also to have a sound journey together. So I'm Nadine Kreisberger. I'm the co-founder of Seeds of Gold Institute with Laura Inserra. So Seeds of Gold, we'll never repeat it enough because it's such a beautiful metaphor. You might have heard of alchemy as an ancient school of wisdom, which talks about the meaning of life. What is this journey about? And so it says that when we come on earth and we're born, we come as a primal matter, a sort of chaotic thing in which there are seeds of gold. And our job, our journey, our magnum opus, the great work is to find those seeds of gold and to become them. And so Laura and I decided to create this institute as a home for all sorts of practices from ancient wisdom as well as the most cutting edge technologies and so on to help find those seeds of gold, both things that Laura or I do, but also with collaborators from around the world. And one of the most powerful tools to find those seeds of gold and get them to blossom, it's sound. And so today we're presenting the 2021 edition of the MetaMusic program, which is a program to help all of us become sound alchemists. It's a program both if you've never touched an instrument in your life, because we can make sound with so many different things, or if you're an accomplished musician. It's just if you want to do it for yourself, or if you're a psychotherapist, a healer working one-on-one or with groups, and you want to use sound to help people find out who they are. And then transform and so on and so forth. First of all, I want to say maybe a couple of words about Laura. She was born in Sicily, this volcanic island in the middle of the Mediterranean. And ever since she was a child, sound has been the red thread, basically, of her explorations. And she's been weaving this exploration of sound and all sorts of instruments, especially ancient instruments from ancient traditions, already tuned to all the schools of wisdom, with the exploration of wisdom schools and spiritual and esoteric traditions and psychology, being trained in Rome and then being trained as in the conservatorium as a classical musician. And in the last few years, MetaMusic, basically the power of sound beyond just sound for entertainment or the pleasure in the moment, which is great, but how can it be beyond that? Both one-on-one and in groups. And she'll tell you more about herself and her own explorations and how she can share with you that body of work. So today what she's going to do is present the course. It's for those who are today with us and who were already in 2020 part of the MetaMusic course, you'll see it's going to be different with augmented material and There is a new network that Laura has put together, a private network for meta musicians to meet and practice together and exchange experiences, and basically to create this alchemical lab and expand it and have it really alive even between the classes. There will be special guests and a lot of practicum, basically, so that we can learn even for ourselves. How can we use sound every day for ourselves in very, very simple and pragmatic ways? So up to you, Laura.
Thank you, Nadine. Thank you so much. And thank you, each one of you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to see in the group that we have in our stream room on Zoom, beautiful friends and faces of people who have taken the course already. And I know that you are also out there on the social medias, and eventually you are hearing this presentation as a recording. So I welcome each one of you. I'm super excited to share this body of work and this new edition of MetaMusic course 2021. As Nadine said, the MetaMusic means beyond music. In this context, music becomes experiential, it becomes functional, almost an extension of yourself, and a metaphor of life, because we'll see that everything vibrates, so we can call everything sound if we want. And as well, music will become for us a language that will express emotions. It will carry healing, inner guidance, transformative possibilities within you and outside of you with the people that you will share this work with. Meta music is this idea that we will go beyond what we so far have been considering music and learn together what is this power that the music has to be so transformative, to be healing since the beginning of times. Let me give you a little bit of orientation about the course, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about my personal approach to this. The course is going to be a 6-week program divided into 3 parts. The first part is the source, where we will see what is sound. How does sound become music? How music becomes healing? And what it is that creates a sacred space when we want to do a ceremony. What is the power of intent? When the intent and the sound come together to manifest, what is there beyond all of that? So what is the source that sound itself is made of, as such as music, and such all of the different things that they come out from them? The second part is going to be the self. Where is your inner environment? How do you prepare yourself? And at the same time, how do I create within me, in my tools, the right space to invite another person in, or to shift to another person's field? What are my self-care practices? What is this unique medicine that I have inside of me that only me can create in this way? What is your voice print? What is this one-of-a-kind sound that you only have that can create so much powerful experiences for yourself, first of all, and for those around you? I will also share some self-healing practices of a method I developed called resonant healing. And then the third part is going to be the self-other. Now, how do I create the right environment for the other person to come in? How do I create this alchemy and the intimacy that is needed in order for the other person to trust? And self-other means also, what is the relationship I'm going to have with these instruments that we call musical instruments? How do I, by extending myself, I'm going to create the right environment for anything that needs to manifest, to be able to manifest? So again, these 3 parts are going to be kind of unfold in 2 sessions, each of them. So we'll have 6 weeks total together. We will start on next Saturday, February 27th, 11 a.m. Pacific time, in a Pacific mood. And it's beautiful because it is full moon. So inspiring by that, we will make a sacred full moon ceremony And from there we can just start to cultivate and give thanks to everything that we have learned so far, and so we can enter this other cycle of the moon and see and build and explore and then integrate. We can use this work as a compass almost to navigate life, and also as a healing method, of course, to support each other. And somehow we are going to become at times inner voyagers, meaning we will visit our vast and meaningful inner landscapes, where either our highest self or our ancient wisdom of the body or the guidance of our ancestors are waiting there for us to be met and to be heard. Other than immersive sound journeys, we're going to do, again, these sacred ceremonies. We're going to do a shamanic vision quest. We're going to make some instruments together or hands-on practices. And at the same time, this year, what is new is that you will become a member of the MetaMusic network. We just customized a platform, and it's a place where finally we can have all of our classes, all of our resources, videos, the practicums. We can create subgroups, areas where you can work separately and more intimately. All our events, everything is going to be in one place. Being part of that community allows you also to interact and with the rest of the members. So if you are joining the MetaCourse 2021, you will be able there to meet the other members and participants of MetaMusic 2020. So there will be areas like our sound labs, so we're going to the lab and create together, or the practicums that they are going to be joined by the two groups. But at the same time, you will have your own group that is going to be private, as the 2020 was, so that you can also have and create an intimacy and a safe place with your own cohorts, where you can really open yourself and be supported and just grow together. So the MetaMusic network right now, it's only and mainly open to the MetaMusic participants. And some of the invited guests, some of the special teachers that I'm going to invite to unfold and enrich even more our knowledge. And eventually we are going to open it to the whole community, because I truly want to have a place where we can all share this knowledge, this possibility of evolving, but at the same time there are areas that are more sacred and private, where people are kind of doing this beautiful work of growing together, of evolving, and so forth. You know what? Maybe I'm going to share just quickly the idea of the Meta network. So this is going to be this new platform. I'm logged in as an administrator, so I'm able to see everything. But when you join, basically, you will be entering the tuning in page, where there will be an explication of what it is and so forth. There are some community guidelines, so that we are sure that everybody is in the same mind setup and spirit setup. There is an event area where all the upcoming events are going to be. This is the forum where everybody can somehow leave a trace or enter a new topic and have a conversation. What I love of this platform is that it looks like Facebook, but things, they don't get lost. Every topic that you are going to create, once that you open, it just keeps the threads. So I'm so excited to have this possibility. And then, as you see, there is the MetaCourse 2020 for those people that already joined the course last year. And there they have their own recordings of the different classes we did, the resources that I shared with them. And when you click on any of these, basically you are going to enter that specific area, where in this case there are the books that I suggested and so forth. And if you are going to participate to MetaMusic Course 2021, you will have also your own sacred private space. And here again, there will be a welcome just for you to orient yourself, a way to introduce yourself so we know each other a little bit more, if you want to put a video view or some topics. And then the group sharing recordings and everything. So these two are going to be just for those that are signed in to those two courses. And then we're going to have this area as the Meta Network, which is open to everybody, where here we have more webinars and lectures that I feel they are very meaningful for this kind of work, or interviews, or MetaMusic journeys, different journeys that will help us like to learn even more, to practice, to do your own quests and so forth. So again, I'm super excited about this platform. So these are the new elements and some, only some of the things that are going to wait for us. Now, one thing that I also want to say is that this course is open to everybody. If you are an amateur with a vocation for the path of music or transformation, because again, it's meta-music, we're going to be so much talking beyond music. Or if you are sound or music practitioners, if you are psychotherapists, or a body worker, midwives and nurses, highly recommended sometimes to create these little sounds, even just to move water close to someone that is in pain. It just creates an incredible soothing sensation that is so healing. So again, don't be scared about Sound Alchemist. We truly are going to simplify this in a way that, starting from the most simple, natural sounds like water, like the leaves that I'm going to show to you, those are already the sounds that takes us straight into the right place, into presence. And of course, I always say, it's just the natural world. The more we are tuned to the natural world, and the more we feel stable, we feel that we are in the right place. Some of you have been asking already for scholarship opportunities. I truly believe that money never should stop our growth, especially in these challenging times. So no one is going to turn away for lack of funds. You can contact me. You have many ways to find my email. It's info@laurenserra.com. Pretty simple. We are collecting scholarship funds for those that they need support in their paths. And I want to thank you so much already to the supporters. I saw that even today, to this presentation, I add on Eventbrite the scholarship funds, and we collected already, I think, around $700. So I truly appreciate that, because there are people that they can't afford, but their soul is so ready, and we really need those people with us. So thank you again, and if you have any problem, again, please reach out, and we'll figure out a way. I'm pretty sure we'll figure out. Now, a lot of talking, but I just want to add, what is this for me? And honestly, this is a compendium of more than 30 years of my studies and initiations and practices that I've done in ancient traditions and also modern schools of wisdom, like alchemy, like the Vedic traditions, like mythology. I studied psychology at the university in Rome, Tantra from the sacred books, with all of the different practices and rituals, especially what we call puja, the shamanism, the folk and classic music, but most of it is by the observation of Mother Nature, I have to say. I grew up in Sicily. But in my life, all of these different pathways, this red thread almost, was taking me to sound. Even, you know, all of the traditions they talk at the beginning, it was the sound. So somehow sound was just always accompanying me to describe it in the most simple way. Because I love the idea that I can also teach this to my grandmother in Sicily, and she will understand it, because truly it comes from ancient times, you know, since the beginning, probably even before we discovered the fire, we had sound as an element, because sound was already in the sky, sound was in the birds, sound was everywhere around us, and we start to make this sound with our voice to start to create languages or way to communicate. So in that sense, I say that it's so simple. We are going to simplify all of this to really go to the most natural way in which sound belongs to us, and also into this other idea that at the end of the day, you are sound. You are an orchestra. Some of you have heard this already from me. You are an orchestra. You have this beautiful heart that is there, this drum that is pumping every second of your life, you know, thankfully, because otherwise you won't be here. You have every cell that is moving around you with its own frequency. It means with its own sounds. And then this congregation of some of them that they become organs. And then hopefully there is this harmony within you at times. And at times when you lose the harmony, which is also important in order to create even more harmony, you know, what is there that I can do to help my body, my system, to become this beautiful manu operas, as we say, this beautiful piece of music, this, you know, this that we should always be able to access anytime during the day. These moments of landing in your own experience, tuning to yourself, and become a tuning fork for others. And that's the beauty of this work and these groups that are coming together. I love that we are learning as well how to not practice this, but how to become this, so that we can be tuning forks, we can be examples for others. I can again talk so much about it. I want to be sure that we have some questions today, and then we do a little sound journey, because I want you to experience what I'm talking about. You know, this is also beyond words. But I would love also to inspire you with one of my favorite quotes from Einstein. He said, "We are slowed down sound and light waves. We are slowed down sound and light waves, a walking bundle of frequencies tuned into the cosmos. We are souls dressed up in sacred biochemical garments, and our bodies are the instruments through which our souls play their music. Our bodies are the instruments through which our souls plays their music." Just that, all that we are perceiving, the one that is looking at me right now, it's that subtle energy, that source of creativity. But your body is just an extension of that energy. It's just a condensation of the high frequencies that you are. And so, as Einstein said, our bodies are these instruments through which our souls play their music. And they are dressed up with these sacred, miraculous, I would say, biochemical garments. One thing I want to add is that we are living really, really challenging and difficult times. I call them shamanic times. But yet, if we keep our presence, we keep our authenticity, we are still connected. I can still sense you. I mean, I'm sweating. You know, I see some of your faces, and you know, I feel that emotion, and it makes me inside emotional. So you are touching me, as I imagine I'm touching you. So I want to inspire us, especially in this time, to keep using these tools that are the online tools, the virtual tools, whatever you want to call them, and actually use them as presence building, as deep connection tools that you can have with others. And as a way as well to embrace journeys like this and experiences like this, where I'm here in California and you are in Germany, and we can still grow together, which was not possible if I was doing this in my studio here in Berkeley. So I want to also acknowledge that it could be a limit at times, but at the same time, it's such a powerful tool and a great opportunity that I'm trying to use as much as possible and as best as possible, the most high quality of not only the sounds, but also of the experience we're going to share, as I hope the MetaMusic network is going to give us that possibility of creating this site where we all are sharing, co-creating, conversing, learning, growing, and evolving together. So I think it's enough walking you through all of these details. Maybe we can open a moment for questions, if you have some, before we journey with music and we experience again everything that I'm talking about. So if you have any questions, you can either, if you are in the stream room with us, you can type them on our chat here, or if you are on Facebook, on Unify page or on my Facebook page, you can tap them there, and Nadine will help us navigate those questions if there are any. I'm so excited to have you in this call, and This is a good question. So someone is asking, I noticed there is a break of week between week 4 and 5. Is this accurate? That's a good question. So yes, each part is going to be divided into 2 sessions. So part 1, we're going to have 2 weeks. Part 2, another 2 weeks. So what I decided is to start on Saturday with the full moon. We have 2 weeks for the part 1, 2 weeks for the part 2. We are going to have also the new moon ceremony. And then to pause for 1 week, to kind of digest the source and the self part. And so to have 1 week to integrate even more all of that material. And probably we are going to have subgroups that you can work with during the times with your other cohorts. And then we'll do the last third session, those other last 2 weeks, right after that, which I believe is the first 2 weeks of April. I know we end on April 10th, but I trust that every dates that are there are the right ones. Thank you for the question. Gabrielle, hi Laura, you mentioned you will be creating instruments. Will we have to source physical materials or what to accept? Okay, I love this question because this is my favorite part. As you can imagine, making instruments and just create sounds from random things. So yes, we are going to make instruments. I'm going to give you, of course, all of the instructions, but they are going to be super simple things, but very powerful, like the shakapas. This is a very powerful tool from different shamans in Peru, but all over the world. And what they do is just create these sounds that breaks energies that is stuck in our system. They remind us the water element, the wind, the woods. So things like these, super simple. We can make them with bamboo leaves. We can make them with any kind of leaves that you have around. So I will give you instructions, and we will kind of, put them together and use them, learning how to use them in your body, learning how to use them for others, learning how to use them to break the energy around you, and so forth. Then there will be, instrument even more simple than that, which is, I believe everybody has, a jar with water. And have all of these beautiful other again sounds that as soon as you hear the water, it's such a primordial sound that takes you into that inner place. So beautiful question, and many, many more. So we're going to create instruments by collecting, first of all, the most simple things and using, first of all, instruments that I've been using since ever from different shamanic traditions, but even from my grandmother. She had no idea about shamanic anything. And I remember that sometimes when we were like cutting the trees, we were like, look at this, and we were we were doing this stuff. We were, making them for the fireplace, but we were playing with them first of all. So yeah. So other questions regarding cost. Is the lower price available only to those that have done 2020 MetaMusic course? So on the Eventbrite, you're going to see different prices. One, yes, it's only for those people that they are already been participating to the MetaMusic course 2020. There is an early bird that is going to end on Monday. That is just for people that are joining before then. There's the late bird for those that they just are late, because there's a lot to organize for each one of you. So much work, believe me. And then there is the contribution to the funds, the scholarship fund. If you have the chance to pay your fee and maybe to add something there, would be appreciated. And then there is the fact that you're going to send me an email, info@laurainserra.com, if you have any problem to pay the regular fee that for a new person is going to be, I think it's $540, the early bird. And we go from there, you know. Either you need a full scholarship. If you need a partial one, I always recommend take a moment to see what is there that you can afford to make a contribution. Not really for the money, it's just to honor as well the exchange, the energetical exchange that we have. Even if it's $1, it's not again the money. It doesn't have to be the money. What it really makes us, gives the value to who we are. It's the conversation we are going to have around. And if you need a full-on scholarship for your own good reasons, we will let you in. Seeds of Gold Institute is also a non-profit organization. If some of you also wants to make a donation that is tax deductible, we can also give you a tax deductible receipt so that we can even more support the community at large. And eventually we are going to grow on this. But I hope that's clarify. Do not hesitate. Just if you can't afford the price, just email me. Amy, I don't have any experience as a musician, but I do have a deep yearning to learn from you and to work with a few elemental instruments. My Native American flute, a drum, perhaps a hang. Oh, you will be very lucky if you will get one. Could you speak about this? As a passionate but inexperienced student, can I become a sound alchemist? The answer is, yes, you can. It looks like a, you know, yes, you can. A sound alchemist. I know that this title, they gave it to me years ago, and it's in my website, and it looks like, oh my God, the sound alchemist. Sound alchemist is just this idea that you can alchemize, meaning you can play around with sounds. As in a lab, and sometimes maybe your lab is going to explode. You know, as an alchemist, we have the sound lab area where maybe some of us is testing our sounds or our microphones and we make a mess. That's fine. But the beauty is that we have friends, we have other people that are willing there to support us in this growth, to give us feedback. How was it? You know, so just this. For a couple of minutes. Or there are instruments, as you said, they're super simple, like a thumb piano. You don't need to be a musician, you just tap and you wait. A lot of you that are my students know how for me it's important. Silence is important. And the element of space. When you are able to make that space in between, that's where music appears. Space for everything to reach. So truly, you don't need to become a musician. That's why I spend so much time, especially in the first part, talking about the source. What is really the source? And the second part, what is the self? How do I tune myself to this work? How do I shift to the musician mind? Which is not about studying at the conservatorium. I did study at the conservatorium, and I was lucky enough that I was already a musician, because I love the potential there, but I don't love the system in which they teach. But that's another conversation. I'm saying you don't need to be a musician. You just need to create that sensitivity within you. Debussy said, music is the silence in between the notes. And that's so true. So we'll talk about the silence and how your intention is what really makes things happen. I can play this hang without intention, and you will see like, that was cool. But if I put an intention on it, it changes completely your experience. As it changes mine. So we'll learn a lot how it's not only the sound, but the intention that is attached to the sound, that it's what creates what it creates. And this is something that I see is missing a lot into the sound healing community. They really understood, the first part of the source of sound. They have some instruments like Tibetan bowls and so forth. But I'm not sure how many people that do the work that is needed to do within you to grow with your awareness and to be really aware of what you and your contribution is to these experiences, which is fundamental. And even before, talking about how do you have someone else entering your space or entering someone else's space with that trust. If you don't do your work within you, it's dangerous. So in that, again, I don't want you to be a musician, but I want you to be a sentient being. I want you to be someone that is willing to have and to grow in your awareness of what is your first material that you're bringing to the lab. And then we use instruments to extend ourselves, to express what you already are. These are just expressions of yourself. Music is not in the instrument. Music is an alchemy between you and the object that we call it instrument. That's why music can happen between me and a bowl with water. It doesn't need to be called musical instruments. It's just this alchemical element that happens where the source, starting from my gesture, someone is answering out there, I don't know if you hear the birds, exactly, and what is there, it becomes one. And the third element is not Laura anymore, it's not the thumb piano and it's not the bird. Now we are together. If I was playing, I usually use everything that I hear around me and I englobe them within the experience I'm bringing. It's a way to say yes to life. And the more you do it in this kind of context, trust me, the more you will do it naturally in your own life, in your daily life. Because what is the difference? What is the difference between Laura as a musician and Laura as the partner of my beautiful spouse, It's nothing different, just different facets of me, but that's what we carry in. It's not the musician, it's Laura, in my multifaceted way to be Laura. I hope it answers always like, I'm Italian, so our language, I'm Sicilian actually, it's even more. So I see many questions. Someone is already asking, what is the scale of the kalimba? And what is that? Okay, these are more technical questions. If you want, this is called hokema, Hokemia. It's one of my favorites because there's also an animal skin on top, so you can bend a little bit the sound when you do things like this. And it's tuned in A, just for those that are already jumping into details. All right, so beautiful. If we don't have any other questions, or if the questions are hidden or answered, it's great. And if you have more questions, you are always welcome to send me an email. Again, info@laurainserra.com, and it's easy like that. Nadine, would you like to add anything, or we can move towards the other part, which is the sound journey?
Yeah, I think that if anybody has other questions, you can always put them in the chat, or you can email Laura, info@laurainserra.com, because I think that experiencing the sound there's nothing like experiencing it.
Exactly. So thank you so much for each one of you that was here in our stream room. Thank you for those that are listening from other places and ways. And please share MetaMusic for those that you think might be interested in a good match for this kind of work. I would love to create another powerful group of selected human beings with whom to connect, to interact, and grow together. My desire is that MetaMusic is also a place where we learn a lot from each other, not only me teaching, but it is the group flow, the group wisdom that comes together that will enrich even more our experience. So share it now, it's a good time, because once that we start, the group is going to be closed. So there's no way for others to join in. And the reason why, this is maybe a question that I should answer right away, the reason why it's called MetaMusic Course 2021 is because there are not going to be another course like this year. Might be another course which is the advanced one for people that already have taken this, but I see that another presentation of this body of work like this is going to be at least next year. So if you have those people that wants to join, this is a good time. And another thing is that I'm not going to share these recordings with a large community because of the intimacy of the group that is coming together, as we didn't with the group MetaMusic 2020. So again, thank you so much for being here. Let's go and immerse ourselves into the sound and see what is there for us. As you know, usually I love at the end to do some integration. Integration is essential in this work, where we just kind of come back after the journey. If someone has something to say from the heart, if there is something there that, you know, it needs to be shared for the benefit of the whole group, we allow that, so that by talking, the speech, it's where the mind and the body that comes together, and it just integrates the experience and makes it real. And so people, they need to feel the reality of what they've experienced. And some other people, they need somehow the inspiration, the confirmation of, wow, this is so resonating, so it's true. I mean, I'm not the only one feeling this. So by sharing our experiences, most of the time we help each other in integrating. So today we can't do that because it's too much to articulate the social media and the stream room. So what I will suggest is that already, if you want, you can find a place where to sit or to lay down, and after the journey, gently find your way to come back to your room or to the space you're in, and maybe you can just contemplate life with these new eyes that you're going to have, or write in your journal, or to keep moving. And just leave it up to you with the trust that you're going to integrate as best as you can. And again, if there is anything there that was too much for you, just reach out. Send me an email. I'll be there. So, find a comfortable position. Let's start to connect again to our own body. You're welcome to let's keep the camera on or to close it, up to you. Let's sink in our own experience of our own body. I highly recommend, if you can, to close your eyes and go into your inner landscape. And just stay there. How does it feel to be yourself right now? No judgment. Just be as a witness. And sense the breathing that is moving your belly naturally. And just follow with your attention that movement. Don't try to change it, just follow it and maybe allow it to be bigger and bigger, slower and slower. And feel the force of gravity that is keeping you nicely landed in the space you are in. Let's have music taking us exactly where we need to go. And enjoy it. Now gently come back in your body. Just come back where the force of gravity holds you, supports you. And if you never left your body, just reach the experience of yourself one more time. And gently start to move. Maybe you want to touch your face. Slowly, slowly re-engaging with all of that beautiful, multi-dimensional being that you are. And if you want to stay in that inner space, just stay there. Just be gentle, stay tuned to yourself, and enjoy the flow that is before you on this beautiful day. You can open your eyes, gently re-engage with the outside world. And if your eyes are open them one more time. And enjoy your precious life. The miracle that it is to be alive. Till the next one.